The night was silent. You sat in your room at your parents' house, staring at your phone. The screen dimmed to black. Jungkook's name flashed across it more times than you could count, but you refused to answer. There was dozens of missed calls and messages from Jungkook. You scrolled through a few of them, your heart aching with every word. Please answer me. I need to explain. I am so sorry. I never mean to hurt you. There is a reason for everything. Please just let me talk to you. You signed, tossing the phone aside. You couldn't bear to hear his voice or read his apologies, not yet. Then you heard a knock on the door and your mother peeked in. Sweetheart, are you okay? She asked gently. You forced a smile. I'm fine, Mom. Just dealing with some things. She walked over and sat on the edge of the bed, her eyes filled with concern. Do you want to talk about it? For a moment you considered telling her everything, but you weren't ready to relieve the pain just yet. Not right now. Maybe later. We are here for you no matter what. Jungkook and you had met in the most unexpected of circumstances. You was just an ordinary girl living an ordinary life until he walked into it and turned everything upside down. Jungkook was not just any man, he was the head of one of the most feared mafia families in the city. Your marriage had been one of the convincing at first, but over time you had fallen deeply in love with him. He was your world, your everything. One evening, Jungkook had told you he was going to a party with friends, a casual gathering that would last a few hours. You had agreed to it, through the nagging feeling in your gut persisted. As you tried to shake off the unease, your phone buzzed. It was a message from your friend Mia. You opened it to find a photo that made your blood run away. There in a fancy restaurant was Jungkook, but he wasn't with his friends. He was with his secretary Lily, a woman you had never liked. The image showed them sitting close, deep in conversation, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of lights. Mia's message was brief. Though you thought you should know, she texted. Your heart pounded in your chest as you stared at the photo. The pain of betrayal hit you like a tidal wave, making it hard to breathe. Questions swirled in your mind. Why had he lied? What was he doing with her? The minutes felt like hours as you waited for Jungkook to return. After some time, when the door finally opened, Jungkook walked in looking every bit the confident, composed man you had fallen in love with. But tonight, his presence only fueled your rage. How was the party? You asked, your voice lagged with sarcasm. Jungkook looked taken aback by your tone. It was fine, he replied. You couldn't hold it back any longer and said, Did you have fun with Lily? His eyes widened in surprise and he opened his mouth to speak, but you cut him off. Don't even try to lie to me again. Mia saw you and sent me a photo you were with her, not your friends. Why, Jungkook, why would you lie to me? He said, running a hand through his hair. I didn't want to hurt you. I was going to tell you when I got home. You didn't want to hurt me? Do you think lying to me was a better option? That it wouldn't hurt me to find out like this? He stepped closer, his eyes pleading. Ryan, please listen to me. I didn't want to worry you. It was just, you cut him off. Worry? All I can think about is how you lied to me. How you chosen to be with her instead of being honest with me. It was a mistake, I agree, but please listen to me. I really love you. There is a reason behind it. But his words fell on deaf ears. The image of him with Lily was seared into your mind, overshadowing everything else. You turned away, tears blurring your vision. How can I trust you again, Jungkook? How do I know this won't happen again? I will do anything to make it up to you, Ryan. Just listen to me once. I just need some time, Jungkook. I will go to my parents' house for some days. Saying that you went to your parents' house but he keep on stopping you but you didn't listen to him. Only you can imagine is he lied to you. Your mother had left the room quietly, respecting your need for space. You appreciated her for understanding, but the loneliness felt like a heavy blanket. You curled up on the bed, staring out the window at the darkening sky and the rain tapped rhythmically at the windows. You lost in your thoughts. Suddenly, a movement outside the window caught your eye. Before you could react, the window was flung open and a man dressed entirely in black climbed in. His face was covered by a mask. Panic surged through you as he crossed the room in a few swift strides. Before you could scream, his hands clamped over your mouth, stifling any sound. Fear gripped you as he lifted you effortlessly, carrying you to the window. You struggled against his grip. In one swift motion, he descended the rope ladder outside, taking you with him. Your heart pounded in your chest as he carried you to a waiting car, shoving you into the car and speeding away. Your mind raced with questions and fear. Who was this man? Why had he kidnapped you? And what did he want? You struggled to free yourself, but the bindings were too tight. As the car roared down the dark streets, you felt a sense of hopelessness settle over you. Finally, the car came to a stop in a scheduled area. The man turned off the engine and sat in silence before removing his mask. Your heart skipped a bit as you recognized the familiar face. Jungkook, you whispered, a mix of relief and anger flooding through you. He nodded, his expression serious. I had to do this, he said softly. You wouldn't answer my calls or messages. I needed to talk to you to explain everything. Jungkook, how could you? You lied to me and now you are gone as far as kidnapping me. Do you have any idea how scared I was? I know, and I'm sorry, but please listen to me. I did this because I need you to understand how serious things are. I need you to know how much I love you and how desperate I am to keep you safe. Desperate? You echoed, shaking your head in disbelief. This is not how you show someone you care, Jungkook. You lied to me and now you have taken it even further. I know I messed up, but please just listen to me. There was a reason behind everything. You crossed your arms, glaring at him. Okay, I'm listening. Tell me. Lily had critical information about a threat to us, something that could endanger you, me, and everyone else in our lives. I couldn't risk you getting involved or hurt, and I thought keeping you in the dark was the best way to protect you. Meeting with her in secret seemed like the best way to handle it. I thought I was protecting you. Meeting her in secret was a mistake. I know that now. But when you stopped answering my calls and messages, I panicked. I couldn't lose you. Why didn't you just tell me? Why lie? I was afraid. Afraid that you would worry. Afraid that you would get hurt. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I see that I was wrong. I should have been honest with you from the start. You looked at him slowly, your anger began to fade away, replaced by a grudging understanding. You should have told me the truth from the start. I would have understood. We are supposed to face things together, not hide them from each other. He nodded, squeezing your hand gently. I know, and I promise no more secrets. I will tell you everything from now on. Finally, you let out a small sigh and leaned into him, resting your head against his chest. He wrapped his arms around you, holding you tightly. I am still mad at you, you said, your voice muffled against his chest. He chuckled softly. I deserve that, but I am just glad you are safe. You pulled away back slightly, looking up at him with a playful glint in your eyes. You kidnapped me, you know. I should probably call the police or at least tell my parents. Jungkook laughed. Maybe you should, but how about I take you back to your parents' house now and tomorrow I will come and get you properly? That sounds like a plan. Jungkook started the car again, driving back to your parents' house in comfortable silence. When you both arrived at your parents' house, Jungkook parked the car a bit down the streets to avoid waking anyone. And the two of you quietly climbed up the rope ladder to your bedroom window. Once inside, you both breathed a sign of relief. Jungkook glanced around your room. So should I go back and rest now? Yes, you should. You have caused enough excitement for one night. But Jungkook's playful nature wasn't so easily deferred. He stepped closer, wrapping his arms around you. I wanna rest here with you. Cuddle up and forget about everything for a while. A teasing smile on his lips. You gave him a light push. Jungkook, my parents are here. What would they think if they found you in my room? He smirked, pulling you closer despite your protest. They will think their son-in-law can't live without his wife. You laughed, gently shaking your head. That's enough now. You really should go. He signed dramatically, giving you one last squeeze. Alright, but only because you asked nicely. You couldn't help but smile as he leaned in, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. Good night, Ryan. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, Jungkook. You replied, watching as he slipped back out the window, disappearing into the night. The next day dawned with a sense of quiet resolution. Jungkook arrived at your parents' house early in the morning. Your parents, sensing the delicate nature of your relationship, didn't pry into what had happened between you two. Instead, they simply offered their support, assuring both of you that they would always be there for both of you no matter what. As you and Jungkook prepared to leave, your parents gathered around, offering hugs and well wishes. We will be here whenever you need us, your mother said, and don't hesitate to reach out if you ever need anything. Your father added, his tone gentle. You both thanked them, grateful for their unwavering support. With one final embrace, you and Jungkook said your goodbyes and headed out into the car. You both came to your home. Jungkook took your hand, squeezing it gently, pulled you into a tight hug. Thank you for understanding, he said softly, and I'm really sorry for everything. I will make it up to you, I promise. You leaned into him, your arms wrapped around his waist. We will get through this together, he nodded, resting his chin on top of your head. You both stayed like that for a moment. The world outside ceased to exist. It was just two of you.